Hello. I'm too tired for this. Me too. I just had an awful discovery. Like, very, very soon after I had decided to do this stream. Yeah, I was very comfy and ready to stream, even though I was very tired. Even though I'm very tired, I still made the effort to you know, get up, get off my phone, my mobile phone, and go and stream, right? Only to discover that this brand new microphone cable that I bought from a local music store. It's actually the only music store even anywhere near where I live. I just happened to be there today because my little brother's guitar, his acoustic guitar broke, or the strings broke, and I don't know how to do that. So I gave it to the guy and he fixed it. But while I was there, I got a microphone cable because I just wanted a little more. I just wanted a little more what do you call it? Like a little more leeway with the cable, right? Because it's a bit tight right now because it's only a 6-foot cable, and I'm kind of routing it in a way where it doesn't get in the way. So I kind of needed it only to be a little longer, like 8 feet maybe. But they only had 10-foot cables. They only had 10-foot cables, so I got one. And so I was just setting up. I was testing my microphone and everything. And there was just an awful buzzing sound. It's like, what happened? I don't understand how you could be the only music store in a 50-mile radius and you don't have cables that work. What's the point? What's the point of being there? Also, the cable was $20. That was more expensive than my 30-foot Shure cable that I got online. And they actually make microphones. Oh, it wasn't 30 feet. How long was it? I think 25 feet. But that's a bit too long. And I got that simply for... I'll talk about that later. I got a cute little microphone stand set up for whenever I want to do karaoke. I got one of those Rockstar microphone stands. I didn't buy it there. Now I'm glad I didn't. I only discovered it after I had bought my microphone stand online. But now I'm glad I didn't buy anything else from there. Yes, $20 for a cable. For reference, my Amazon Basics, my Amazon Basics 6-foot XLR cable, I've been using for almost 10 years. Almost 10 years at this point. It's been a crazy long time. And I bought it for $8. And then I buy a brand new cable. It's one of the things I've had for the longest, pretty much. It's pretty much the only thing about my desk that hasn't changed in in that long. And I finally switched it out, and it just it was just totally a bust. I don't understand why people go to brick and mortar stores anymore. It's not worth it. Why am I getting cheap cables made from used aluminum cans? What's going on? Like, it even says on the cable. It's like professional low noise microphone cable. It's not even shielded. Like, I don't think it's shielded at all. Which means that just like any kind of interference will be picked up. Which is like interference is everywhere because we've got like cell phone towers and like Wi-Fi signals and everything. Like if like the Amazon Basics cable I thought was like the least shielded you could even make a cable. Because like they are so cheap, right? So I thought like you could not get worse than that. And they somehow did it. And it was like a $20 cable. But even has like the store's address on it. And when I bought it, they were like, "Oh, there's a lifetime warranty on this, by the way." So I'm bringing it back and I'm being like, "Your cable sucks. I want my money back." I swear. Well, I think I still have the receipt. Hopefully my mom didn't throw it away because I gave her the receipt. Because when I got my brother's strings changed. Luckily I noticed it and I was able to change back to my old cable last second. Which I had literally packaged it up because I was going to give it to someone. Because this is going into another thing that I did since the last time I streamed. I got a new audio interface. I'm not using it right now. I'm actually only going to use it for recording. Because it doesn't have like cool streamer features, but apparently it has like a really good sound. Whatever that means. It's got like good preamps. So I've been told by like a million different like people who know a lot better than me, probably. Let me get a picture of this. Peace. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna bring it back tomorrow. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And I guess it makes sense. They're mainly like a guitar store, but like I thought it was like oh, it's so convenient that there's actually a music store. I mean, it's like a 30-minute drive almost, but it's like, hey, if I need like a cable or like an adapter, because they have a whole bunch of those. If I need something like that today, I can just go out. I don't have to wait 3 days for like an Amazon delivery, and then a poor Amazon driver has to drive all the way to my address just to deliver like a $2.50 adapter. But now they have to, because there's literally no other way I can get one that I know that works. Because I'm not trusting any cables from that store ever again. I mean, they sell like... I mean, honestly, there's not really any reason for me to walk into that store again, unless I want like a guitar or something. But even that, just get it off of Facebook Marketplace. It's so much cheaper. Like they had all like... They had some microphones and stuff. And like headphones and stuff. I already had like the best stuff they were selling basically. And they were just all selling it at like full price. And it's like you can get it discounted almost anywhere online. What's the point in walking into a store like this? Because everything is just so expensive. Even like for brand new. I mean like deals pop up all the time online. I guess like if somebody is like touring, and then they need quickly like microphone cables, I guess they can grab a microphone cable that has insane buzz, that sucks really badly. Then they can do that, I guess. I don't know. I don't even like trust them. Like their guitar cables are probably better because they're like a guitar play. I don't care though. Because I think they're all from the same brand anyway. They just kind of slap like their address on it. Let me grab it. It's just right here on the floor. It's what is this brand? And oh, new tricks. New trick? New trick. How much does one of these cables cost online? New trick. 10 foot. Oh. They cost actually more. What? They cost more online. From this specific brand anyway. Oh, wait. Wait, what? No, this is a TRS to XLR. I just need XLR to XLR. Where's that? Could I have gotten like an unbalanced cable or something? No, but it's like a microphone cable. It's like, how would that even... Okay. It kind of seemed to be like a... Meh. I don't know. I mean, I'm not seeing bad reviews. I don't know. I don't know. Did I just get a faulty cable? Like 8 other people I'm subscribed to are live, but I'll stay here. That's nice of you. Layla. Hi, Layla. Hello. Welcome. Oh, I'm just complaining about a cable. Which is fine. I can just get one online for like way cheaper. But I'm just mad because I made the effort to go shop. Even the person who worked there. Hello, Eloise. Hello, Ia. Laya or Ia? I don't know if that's an I or an L. I probably asked before, but I don't remember. Also, the person working in the store that fixed the guitar I brought in was wearing a Hatsune Miku shirt, which I didn't say anything about because I didn't. I think I was gonna, but I just forgot. I didn't even know what I was gonna say about it. He was like 40 years old. I was wondering, like, does he even know what that is, or was it just like something he bought at like a store? I don't know. You know, because sometimes people just buy like a shirt because they're like, oh, it's pop culture and whatever. They might not even know what is on the shirt. It's Leah, actually. Oh, okay. He has the queen on his shirt. So true. I should have told him that. It wouldn't have made his microphone cables any better, though. Yeah. I don't need 10 foot. 10 foot of cable is too long anyways. I just need like an 8-foot cable. But I have to buy it on Amazon because it's literally the only place I can even buy things. Hello, sorry that... No, it's fine. I just made this stream like just now. You're not late or anything. Oh, I didn't... Whoa, I shrunk. I didn't actually post it to the Discord server yet. I forgot. I can do that now. Hold on. I was just so like... It caught me off guard that my microphone cable was like all weird. You gotta get the gold-plated one. I think I just gotta get whatever the Amazon Basics ones are made out of because they're flawless. Now, mine hasn't busted on me, but it's not busted. It's not busted, and it hasn't. I don't know why I said that like that. I gotta stop going to stores. I keep trying to do this. I'm like, no, I don't have to go to Amazon. I can find this at a store. And then it always ends up badly. I just don't want to give Amazon any more money, but it's genuinely the only place I can actually get things. Man. Amazon is good. They don't treat their workers very good, though. How about the malls there? The malls don't have anything. I think I talked about how depressing the malls are before. But they've literally got nothing other than like clothing stores. They've got like a Hot Topic at Spencer's, and then like American Eagle. And then like every adjacent store for like your 4 types of people. And you got like a jewelry store. And like, I don't know, a phone carrier store. It's like it's like, you know, an indoor mall. They got like the Auntie Anne's not pizza, pretzels and everything. But there's no soul. It's just like you could have gotten the same amount of value out of like a just like a shopping plaza. Shine? I don't really shop. That's the thing as well, like a lot of the stuff on Amazon now is just stuff from like Temu and Wish and Shine. So now it's like even worse. Oh, is that wrong? I never shopped there or talked about it, so I don't know. I've only ever read it, to be honest. Shein. Okay. Makes sense. I'm just really bummed about this cable though. It's so dumb. I hate a feeling like I've been scammed. That's like the worst feeling. And like oddly enough, I've not like gotten like a bad, well no, I kind of had a bad experience on eBay. But like one bad experience on eBay when I've bought like so many things from eBay. And it was technically only like a half bad experience because like I bought 2 things, both of which were like kind of Frankensteined. Like I knew like they were very scuffed, but I just kind of put my faith that they would be fixed properly because it was like I bought something being listed as like thing that broke but then was fixed again, basically. Because it's like, you know how electronics are, like a lot of them, they're not very easy to repair. You gotta like tear them apart in order to like actually get in there. So like only very few like specialists are actually like capable of fixing some certain things. There's just like an independent guy who apparently figured out how to fix this one thing I was looking for and was selling them for way cheaper, but they kind of had like battle scars because they were obviously like cut open and then stitched back together. But I was like, okay, I don't care about how it looks, so as long as it works, I'll buy it. So I bought 2, and only one of them worked. So yeah. But I messaged him, and he was like, my brother fixes them. And I'm like, your brother? Okay. And then like a month later, he was like, sending you new one. I think they said like, it would come like tomorrow. What's the date today? No, yeah, no, wait, like today. Well, technically. Like, later today. I think he said the 14th. I would get a replacement, which is like weird. Because like, it's like, wait, you still have my address? I guess. Maybe you do. I don't... He kind of just didn't like try to confirm anything. He's just like, alright, sending you a new one. Kind of very robotic interactions with the guy. So I was kind of sketched out, but like, I assume it was just a fluke because one of them worked and one just didn't. Could have just been that he, like when he was putting it back together, he like messed something up. Kind of weird that his brother would be the one putting them apart. I mean, putting them back together though, and he's just selling them. Yeah, I've got plenty of stuff off of eBay. I got my audio interface that I'm using currently, actually. From eBay. And I've been using it for a while. It was pretty much brand new. They just... The owner of it was like... I think he low-key just didn't know how to use it. Because he was like, it wasn't work... He like claimed that it wasn't working in some applications, but like... I've tried it, and I never... I don't even know how that would even make... How that even makes sense. Because it just shows up as an audio device. Like, he must have like forgot to install the drivers or something. It's a, you know, rookie mistake, you know. Everybody doesn't know that you have to manually update firmware or whatever. But yeah, it's fine. And I bought it for like half price. So like, it's pretty good. Then I also bought... What else? Do I have a picture of this? I might have sent it to myself once. Nope. I think I sent it to someone else, though. Let me see. Here we go. Save image. Oh. And I thought having a vertical monitor would be cool for chat, but it's kind of annoying. I miss having two... I used to have three monitors, all like landscape-wise. And I thought that was like a little too much. But having like a... I have one monitor kind of like, you know, turned like on its side, so it's like, you know, vertical, like the long way up. Portrait mode, I guess you would call it. It just makes like things harder to read. And it makes windows harder to resize. And I never really like put like chat on it really big. To have like that scrolling, like, I don't get enough. I think that might be really useful if you get like 1 million chat messages, so you could have all of them like be scrolling on like a really big screen. But I don't really have to worry about that. So, yeah. But I don't actually have enough space to turn this thing sideways. So it's just stuck vertically for now. I need to get a... I forgot... I didn't know what the name of the kind of furniture was. But apparently it's called like a... Like a sidecar for your desk. There's like a little shelf next to your desk to fit more stuff on it. And then I need to get one of those so I can put my computer on it. Because I've made the... After my last PC just got like absolutely ransacked with dust, I've made an effort to not put my PC on the floor. And so far it's been good, but it takes up a lot of room. So I need to get like a little a thing, sidecar. I think it's called a sidecar. Or like a sidekick or something. Just something to raise the PC up and off the ground. But yeah. What was I doing? Oh yeah, I was gonna show everybody this. A picture. Hopefully there's no... Okay, yeah, this is fine. You can see my room, but it's just like, you can see that I'm like a sociopath that doesn't have any posters on his walls. He just has plain white walls. Like a freak. But I got a new microphone from eBay. It's a little singy boy. I really wanted one of these for karaoke because I thought like um just like having something to hold, not having to like stay in one spot really helps with like easing tension, I think. And it's easier to have fun with it when you're like actually doing it karaoke style. And I honestly have to agree after using it a couple times. I really like using it. It's really fun. So it might be one way to get me to enjoy karaoke. And the audio quality is pretty good because it's one of the nicer um stage microphones. Well, nicer, maybe it's like mid tier because you can get really expensive with them. But this is a Shure SM. No, wait, that's a different model. The SM58 is like the all black one. This one has a blue ring and the base is kind of grayish. And it's because it's like its cousin. It's called the Shure Beta 58A. I don't know why they call it that. They could have just called it like the SM59 or something. Because the SM58 is like the microphone. It's like the microphone emoji. There's a JoJo movie? Is there? If you've ever seen the microphone emoji, it's like basically that. The SM58. It's like the most popular microphone maybe ever. Yeah, it's iconic, as people would say. But this is kind of like a slightly upgraded version. It's got a like a narrower polar pattern. If you don't know what that is, don't worry about it. It's kind of like think of it as like a cone, and like everything within that cone is picked up by the microphone. And generally for singing, it is better to have a thinner cone, so you capture less of the sound around you and more of just like your voice. So this one has a thinner, more narrow polar pattern. A regular microphone would have something called a cardioid polar pattern because it's like kind of heart-shaped in the way that it picks up sound. The cone of how it picks things up. This one is called a super cardioid, which is basically like a super thin version of that. It's basically very good at rejecting noise coming from the side of you. Like if you had like, I don't know, like a guitarist or something, or like another instrument right beside you, it would be a lot better for that. But for me, it was just kind of like, I just like the sound of it better than the standard one. And also that noise rejection is nice to have because that it does the same for like room echo and stuff. You get less of that as well. Okay. Yeah, that's me microphone. I'm not using it right now. I'm basically only gonna use it for like karaoke. Because the one I use for streaming usually is just much nicer. It's much more expensive. It's basically just like an ultra expensive version of the same microphone. You know, same brand, same type of capsule. So technically I could pick up my my everyday microphone and kind of try to use that as like a karaoke microphone. And you could technically, you could just hold it by the little base that it has, but it's so heavy. You could like bludgeon someone with it. So it'd be kind of unwieldy. And also with not having a microphone in your face, my face tracking can like not cut out every 5 seconds. So I noticed that was happening kind of. Okay. Yeah, I got that from eBay. I got it for $80. It retails for like $175. So I honestly thought I was getting a fake for a moment. So as soon as I got it, I instantly checked if it was real. It was. But there's a lot of fakes from the brand Shure, because Shure, I guess, is just like the go-to for like audio crews and stuff like that. So when they're getting like a dozen microphones, they're not gonna like check every single one. So they're gonna get like a dozen SM58s, and then like 2 of them might, or like even half of them might be fake or something. You know, if you're not buying from like a reputable seller. It's just something you gotta watch out for. Though most microphones don't have that problem for some reason. It's only Shure, from what I've seen, it's mostly Shure and Neumann. You know Neumann, that's like the primo audio brand. And they have like a lot of counterfeits going around as well, because they've got a very iconic look that is easy to like make a fake of, but it's something you can really only see without like you can tell like once you've like, you know, you're in arm's reach of it. But if you're like buying it online, like off a listing, it's much harder to tell. And basically the only way to get a good price on a Neumann is to buy it used, so it just adds another risk factor into that. You know, you can't buy something that's too good of a deal because it might be fake. It's a bit risky. I haven't been scammed yet, but I've had a few scares. Like, the only time I got scammed was when I bought a brand new audio cable from just like a regular music store. Weirdly enough, I think I would have gotten a better product if I just bought someone's like cable that they had lying around in their garage for 20 years. Would have been cheaper as well. Is it just gonna be like show and tell at this point? But I want to show everybody my new thing that I bought, that I didn't take any pictures of, because I didn't want to get it out of the box. But I got it out of the box just to verify that it's, you know, there. Then I put it in the box. So I'm not ready to use it yet, but I have it. And I totally did not buy it just because I thought, wow, that's a good deal. And then I just got it because I was like, you know, it's a good deal. It's a good deal. It's like free money, basically. Trying to find a good picture of it. Yeah. This music's how I'm feeling right now. Today was just like non-stop. You know, like I didn't really get any rest until like until like now, basically. It was just like, oh, I need to do this, and then I need to do this, and then this and this, and then I had to squeeze in some time for the gym, and it's just like I'm exhausted. So yeah, I still wanted to stream because I just hadn't. I wanted to play a game, but I didn't have enough time or energy. Okay, I'll use this picture. It looks more like a render, but it works. I still didn't even announce the stream. Whoops. Hopefully this is the right link. Yes. Okay. Hi Masichu, welcome. Hi Shaheem, welcome. Was good. Nothing much. I was venting about something I bought that was broke. Was it broke? I don't know. But it doesn't really matter. Okay, I need to tweet that I'm streaming or something. Does it really matter? Probably not. No. Wait, where did... I think I closed the link to the stream itself. Whoops. Nope, don't click end stream. Oh wait, I already had it copy pasted. Okay, well that was a waste. Alright. Now we don't have to worry about that. I'm gonna drink some water. This is the next thing I bought. Why is this so small? What? It's an audio interface. It'd be good video where a person actually starts drifting away while talking to the chat. It becomes lore. Like their voice drifts away too. I can kind of do that. Like, I'm talking, but I'm getting farther away. Did that work? I was trying to like gradually move the fader down, but I don't think my fader is smooth enough to do that. And at a certain point, my noise gate just like cuts it off. So it sounded like you... Okay, you're gonna do that sentence over. Yeah, this is my new interface that I got for recording. I sounded like I fell down a hole. Yeah, I got it because my current one being like a gamer streaming interface, I was really skeptical of how good like I don't know like the terms for the things, but like things like converters and preamps and like just a bunch of fancy schmancy like analog audio stuff that I kind of know about, but not really. But I just feel like everyone says the parts in this are really good, especially for the price. And so if I'm recording something, I want it to like come out really good so that, you know, whoever's like having to do all the post-processing, whether it's me or anyone else, it'll just be like a lot easier. But yeah, I got that. Now I just need a really good... I mean, I could use my current mic, the mic I'm speaking into right now. It's decent for singing, but I really like those large diaphragm like studio microphones. At least I want one of them. At least for like recording covers and stuff. I might get like a decent one. You can get really expensive with those though, so I have to watch out and be like, oh, the deals. It's I might see like a microphone for like $1,000 off, but it's still like $2,000, and I'll be like, oh, deal. That's something I shouldn't do. Like, yes, technically good deal, but for me, no. Mm. Is there something I forgot? I was gonna talk about something else. Oh yeah. I talked about... I think... Was it last stream? I think last stream I talked about a wallet that I bought. Again, this is just show and tell. But I bought a wallet, and I'm very happy about the wallet. Oh, can I get a picture of this? It's kind of... I don't think a picture would even be able to capture what I like about this wallet, though. Show your wallet? I would just show my wallet, but it's got like all my cards in it. Also, I'm too lazy to take a picture of it. Steals it? No! What the heck? I'm just gonna cancel all my cards and you get nothing. The one thing about it is that it doesn't really hold cash. Not that much. There's a bunch of... like, that's like the thing with these like minimalist wallets, is that they hate cash for some reason. Which is understandable, since it's like, how much do we really even use cash nowadays? But like sometimes, you know. But it had just enough for like 2 bills, I found. If you fold them up, you can fit 2 different like bills in there of like, it's like, a couple bucks or like a hundo even. Tomfoolery music. That's just the music that plays in my brain when I don't know, I'm being stupid. I think I can only really show this in a video. Hi, Sleepyhead. Welcome. I'm also Sleepyhead. Thomas Foolery himself. True. Hold on, while I find a video of that, I bought another thing. I probably sound like some like entitled brat. Like, huh, look at all that stuff I bought, guys. I'm such a diva. But in reality, like, I just like never... I've not bought myself things like almost like all summer. I've just been like saving pretty much. And like, the semester is starting. Actually, next week, I have to start going to school. So, I'm not gonna be able to save any more money. It's like a haul video. True. But real though, I bought a crappy one time because its skin started peeling off. I had like a genuine leather wallet for like a really long time. But some of the cards in it would literally like bend. Because I guess when I'd sit on the wallet would bend. And then the cards inside would bend. Not really thoughtfully designed, I guess. I'm not sure. It was just like, it wasn't any important cards, it was just like a gift card. That ended up like actually like breaking in half. And then after that I was like, you know what? Yeah. I'm gonna get a new wallet. And so I was looking into like hard case wallets. But I didn't want something like the Ridge wallet, because the Ridge wallet is like $100 million. And also, it's like made of like titanium or something. I don't want to sit on that. Like the one I got is like super... Hi Leia, welcome. I'll be Mickey Mouse as a hot dog for Halloween. When is Halloween? Oh, I guess it's kind of coming up, maybe. Hold on, I gotta show off my other thing that I got. Do you play Genshin? Once upon a time I tried. I don't think it was my thing. There's several factors, like the fact that I was so far behind and I was just clicking through dialogue like 90% of the time, and I was feeling really bored. And then also, I really despise how that company makes their money. Basically, like emotionally manipulating people into spending more money than they can afford on digital assets that aren't even theirs and will one day just be ripped from them eventually whenever the Genshin servers go down. And I think I'm pretty radical in that, like, in my philosophy of that, because if I had my way, I think the people who come up with those kind of monetization schemes would be, like, literally imprisoned. That's how I feel about it. Because I mean, I'm autistic, and I know a lot of people with autism, and there's people with like depression, people with ADHD. It just targets like it. Those kind of schemes are especially harmful to just anybody who's not like, you know, in the best headspace. And so it's extra slimy because they're usually preying upon, you know, some pretty I can't really elaborate right now, but oh, and gambling addicts. Well, I mean, like people with, I think people with, is that true? I don't know. I feel like what people with some mental disabilities are more likely to become gambling addicts, especially in my family. It's been like kind of scarily common, so that makes me extra like I've watched people kind of fall into those kind of things, whether it doesn't have to be with like gambling or just addiction in general. Even one of my brothers got into like that stake.com at one point. Yeah. I know if you enjoy it enough, you can just kind of ignore all that stuff. But I don't know. I'm a bit too much of a I guess I'm too much of a sad overthinker. I don't know how to use words, how to describe it properly, but I'm really hard to please, basically. Huh? Live chat, YouTube, what? What? What are you saying? That was a lot. Okay, but welcome. No more long messages in chat, please. But I'm glad you're excited. My family doesn't have any gambling addicts except my uncle's wife got into a cult once. Yeah. I'm not gonna chastise someone for liking or even supporting them. Like, you know, like Hoyo or whatever. Or any company that does these sort of things. Because honestly, at the end of the day, they're victims, you know? They don't know that they're getting scammed. They might even acknowledge they're getting scammed and just be like, whatever, because it makes me happy. And it's just kind of sad that, you know, that it has to be that. It can't be something, like, a bit more fulfilling. I don't know. I guess if it brings you fulfillment, that's cool. But also, like, why can't it be, like, taking walks in the park or something? It was not a very good example, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. I think a lot of people, instead of participating in like the whole gambling aspect, they just like draw the characters. And I think that's a much more healthy way to engage with it, I guess. But it also gives me the ick at least personally, from participating in like a, like people make like Genshin inspired like fan songs or something. And I would never do something like that just because I would see that as like promotion or like me giving like the green flag to it. But if somebody makes fan art or like fan works of those games, I don't really care. It's cool. Like, I just like seeing people being creative. I just wish it was like for a better property, I guess. But yeah, I hate when people argue amongst each other about this stuff though. Because like, at the end of the day, like, we just want the best for each other. And it's like these companies that are like really taking advantage of us and our loyalties and our anger sometimes. Really makes you think. I don't know why I got into that tangent. The notice. I don't know what that means. I've heard that before. I don't know what it means though. Look at this though. Speaking of consumerism, look at this. Somebody made like an emulation device, but it's like in the shape of a Game Boy SP. And I bought it. I bought it today. It doesn't come for like a half a month though, because it has to ship from China probably. But I had a silver Game Boy just like this when I was a kid. Obviously, it only had two. It has some extra buttons here because obviously it has more functionality than a regular Game Boy. I'm really excited for this actually. I loved my old Game Boy SP. I like your views. It makes a lot of sense. I can tell you have a big heart. You really did open my. Aw, what the heck? Yeah, you can enjoy it however you want. I'm glad you listened and just wasn't just like, hey, stop talking about my baby like that. But I'm glad you understand where I'm coming from, and yeah, ultimately you should just do what makes you happy, but also stay safe and stuff like that. Make sure you put enough. Make sure you have like a savings account. It is not all going towards Genshin Impact, basically. Yeah, I got this. Woo. It's basically just like a little computer that runs Linux, actually. So like I've seen people do crazy things. Like I saw somebody put macOS on this thing, and they were in like they were in like Logic Pro on this little thing, on this little screen. It was really funny. I saw someone else boot up Balatro on it. It is like a little computer. It's just like it's got really, mediocre specs, but it's good enough for playing like Game Boy games, which I'm excited to do. Hi Alois, this is my first time watching you. I hope I like your stream and content. I do too. This is more of a boring stream though, so it's more so if you like just talking and chilling and having conversations or just listening to me rant about things and stuff. I want to see if am I gonna play Pokemon Red? I thought about playing a Pokemon game on it. It actually has an HDMI out, so I can put it through a capture card and then into my computer, and I can actually stream whatever I play on the Game Boy. So I think I might actually do that. Oh, I like this type of stream the most. That's good, because I like these kinds of streams too. I was never really into Pokemon as a kid. I think most people who got into Pokemon as a kid basically never fell out of it. I don't really see people get into Pokemon now. They're not like, oh boy, I'm 30 years old. Time to get into Pokemon. I've never played it before, but I can't wait to finally experience Pokemon. It's always like people who have grown up with Pokemon who are playing it. I feel like if somebody had no reference or idea of Pokemon and they played it for the first time, they would be like, this is kind of mid. But I really like Pokemon like as like a concept, I guess. I really like the animes growing up. I would watch it. You know, I was a Saturday morning cartoon kind of guy. So I was watching the Pokemans when it came on. How you can call me Gonzo or Rip Redcorn. I'll call you Gonzo. That is easy. Hello, welcome. My favorite video game is Wally on the PS2. I love that for you. I love just like very super specific, like movie tie-in game. I probably played that game. Like I probably rented it once or something. I played a ton of those growing up. I have super good memories about them. Most of them, they're kind of like in the vault, and something has to kind of trigger for me to remember them. But yeah, they're in there somewhere. Isn't Gonzo the name of a Muppet? Maybe. I wasn't really there for the Muppets. That was a bit before my time, maybe. Yeah, I like Pokemon. I actually had Pokemon Yellow for the Game Boy Color, which is crazy old. Like I'm OG, basically. But then after that, I kind of like, it's very sporadic, my experience with Pokemon, because after that it was kind of just like, I think my next one was Pokemon Platinum, which is way, just like, what a time skip, right? Is this your VTuber model? Oh, is your VTuber model a wolf because of the ears? They're supposed to be cat ears. I think I just didn't size them right. But they're just... Hold on. Sorry to break it to you. Hold on, I don't think I put them on right again. This is kind of tricky. No. Oh, you didn't see that. I did do some surgery on myself to fit in these. Okay, that's the best I'm gonna get. Okay. That's good enough. Oh, I'm like just like trying to get all. It's super finicky. I just gotta like, shell out the money and just get like proper cat ears, in there. Just because I feel like the demand for them is high enough. I might as well make them part of my model. Thank you. I'm heading to sleep. It's like 3 a.m. where I am currently. All right, peace out. Yep, it's pretty late for me too, but I hope you get some good rest. Yeah, thank you. Oh yeah, I forgot. I need to show you my wallet. Hold on. Wallet. Oh, this is the video that I saw before. It's just like a short made by the company. It's kind of cringe, but I think it's a good it's like a good showcase of what it can do in a very short time frame. So maybe I'll just steal it. Whoa. It's loud. Okay, hold on. Okay. I'll pause the music for now. I need to capture this tab. How do I do that? Window capture. Okay, watch this video about my new wallet. It's the same color too. I like this like kind of bright leathery look. Just watch this. See, it has like a little tabs that they don't open like you can't like pull it all the way, but they open just enough to kind of like put your cards in there. And you open the other side and it's like you fit more cards in there. And there's like a little clip in there for money. Or you can put a card because it's like 7 cards plus cash or 8 cards. Like you have to choose basically because I don't think the video does it justice because this thing is like so small. And the magnetic like closing is also really satisfying. It's not like as like the magnets aren't that strong where it's like super loud, but it's like, you know, you can fidget with it. And also the way the cards just slide in is like apparently they had like a first generation. Like this is like the second generation of it's called the flip case. They had a first generation and it was like they accidentally made it like too small and it couldn't like fit the amount of cards that it said it could. And it was like very just like, you know, the cards didn't slide in as smoothly and stuff like that. But this one I've got is really good. It's like $90, which is really expensive for what it is. And it wasn't even like really recommended. I just really vibed with this. I just really vibed with the design of it. My internet just crapped out. Yeah, happens to the best of us. But yeah, I watched a few videos of those Mr. Beast over here. That is it was definitely like the most I've ever spent for a wallet. I've only bought like one wallet, so like one other one. So, but you gotta pay a little to get nice things. Also, the Ridge wallet costs like $120 or something crazy. So I thought just like it's a good deal in comparison to that. Which yes, that one can fit more cards, but it's not nearly as cool, in my opinion. Oh, I need to turn the music back on. I just have a wallet I found at Goodwill. I mean, that's how most people. That's like I never really felt the need um for like a super fancy one. I was just kind of like, you know what? This current one is messing up the cards inside of it. So I need a new one. Might as well like, just see what's out there in terms of like, uh like the really good ones. Like the ones that are just like super, cuz I have to, I have to pull out my wallet so many times every day. So it just makes it like a little easier, like a little more fun even or cool. This one in particular, like I just feel cool doing it because it's a very you can like pull out a card in like a very smooth motion. Meanwhile, like with my old like leather wallet, it was kind of like you'd have to like unfold it and then like kind of like rip the cards out of there because they're like stuck in the in the little pockets that are like overly tight. And it's super small. That's like one of the things I thought like it being like a kind of a hard case would make it less comfortable than sitting on my old leather wallet, but it's actually like more comfortable just because it's smaller. Like I can barely feel it, and also like it's easy to put it in my front pocket if I don't even have back pockets for whatever reason. Like if I'm like wearing like like I don't know, like basketball shorts or something, which I really don't wear anymore, but if I was, you can easily just throw it in the front pocket, no biggie. Your VTuber model looks really nice. Thank you. Thank you. I talked a bit about random things. I don't really know what to do now. What time is it? It's been an hour and 15 minutes. You know what we can do? No, actually, I figured out what happened to my chat. Like yesterday, like my on-screen chat was like bugging out. It just turns out that the one that I used for like all my other scenes, uh, like whatever like method I was using, just completely broke with like a YouTube update. So, uh, yeah, I don't even know how I'm gonna get chat on screen, but you figure it out. I think I wanna maybe do a little cheeky reaction stream. A react Andy, maybe just a little. What do I even have? I haven't been saving them as nearly as often because it's a really lazy kind of stream concept. It's 10:03 p.m. for me right now. It is 1:02. Wow.
The invention
Oh.
of the
Yeah, it's just like really how do I say it? Yeah, it's fun, but I try not to do it so often because it's easy to kind of just fall into the trap of just like watching YouTube on stream. Which I feel like every streamer does a little too much. Well, like every streamer like on Twitch. If you look at like the big streamers, they all like kind of do it way too much. But if you see how much they stream, it kind of makes sense because they're live like 12 hours a day. So it kind of makes sense that like they would just get bored and like just start watching YouTube, because that's what I would do at my job. Except in that case, it's like they also like make money from watching the YouTube because like they'll get like a clip, and then like the clip will get like 100,000 views of just like a random VTuber in the corner while somebody's actual hard work plays in the foreground. It's like a little break, I guess, but also they can literally just like take a break. But I guess it's easier. Also, it makes content. Also, I think people like it. And people seem to like it when I do it. But I try to be constructive. At least as much as I can. I don't know how good I am at it, actually. But I try to, like, you know... Like, I make a 20-minute video, like an hour-long video. Because I'm annoying. I need to scoot over. Also, chat is gone. This is what happened to chat. Wait, I can just... I mean, it's not transparent anymore, but that doesn't really matter. I don't know what happened to it. Probably just like YouTube changing their code slightly. Which messed up the script of whatever this is that I was using. Is it wrong that I find you kind of kissable? That's not the worst thing, I guess. Yes. Okay. Apparently it is wrong, according to some people. Can I make it bigger? Trying to have... There we go. Okay. Now I gotta actually get YouTube. Where is it? Okay. Hold on. Whoa! It played without my permission. Stop that. I like the little stick figure on the mug. On the mug. Yeah, it's my drawing. Which is very like it was very random. One stream I just doodled a stick figure and I wrote Picasso. And I later found out that I spelled it wrong. It's actually I think 2 S's. But it's there anyways. Which is it's just icing on the cake to be honest. But that drawing has been immortalized. Oh my, I could get I never thought about doing actual physical merch of the Picasso mug. That would be actually kind of kino. I should do that. Like with whenever if I ever break into that realm, there'd have to be enough interest for it, blah blah blah. Probably the only way that would ever happen if I just so happened to bump into someone who like worked in merchandising or something. Because I'm not that like I guess I don't have the entrepreneurial spirit or whatever. It definitely like sounds like I would love to have like acrylic standees, whatever merch. Why are you calling me E-Kitten? I guess I am kind of like a kitten on the computer right now. In the literal sense. A white t-shirt with the Picasso? Dude, the Picasso merch goes hard. Dude, they're gonna have it in the Gucci. It's gonna be like the next Supreme drop. It's just Picasso on a white t-shirt. It's gonna sell 20 million shirts. I don't even have like the original. I don't even remember what stream I drew it on. I guess to get the original drawing, I would just have to. I don't think I saved the original drawing. I think it was literally just a screen cap from that stream. Which just makes it better, to be honest. I don't think I saved the drawing. I might have. I don't remember saving it though. Oh, that was a jump scare. Okay. Let us play the video. This is called Racing's Most Bizarre Accident by Emp Lemon, which is someone who used to do YouTube poop, who now makes like video documentaries for some reason. But I like them, so. And I'm curious about this because I think I saw a video of this and was like, what the heck was that? But I don't know if it's the same accident. It might be though. Let's find out. Let's find out. I need to stop the music. Stop. And go. Wait, hold on. I keep forgetting that Stream Elements bot is there. Does that link even work anymore? I haven't logged into my Stream Elements in like years. It's probably just the last time I got a donation. No, I'm still logged in. Yeah, it looks about right. Which is that it's like a ghost town, which is fine. I have 94 cents in my account, but I can only withdraw at $5. So, that's fine. But yeah, anyways, I would donate if they supported Apple Pay. It's very specific, but that's all right. Yeah. It is a bit restrictive That's why I would kind of like the super chat. Also, super chats just make it easier to thank people and to have their message be read and displayed. So yeah, maybe one day if I keep doing like if I keep having banger streams like the one uh like a week ago. Oh no, your poor internet. Yeah, if I keep having like well performing streams and long streams and like consistent streams, then like I could probably get monetization. It's mostly on me to be honest, because I feel like people with less viewers have gotten monetization. I'm just like kind of lazy because like I'll like be close and then I'll just like stop streaming, which then makes me farther from the goal because it's like a certain amount of watch hours uh in a span of 365 days respectively. And so if I, you know, if I do like a really good, like like if I do really good for like half of that, but then I just stop streaming, then it's just like I lose all my progress. Basically, I've got to like it's consistency basically. I'm not sure repeats even count. I don't know what counts towards the watch time. I'm like halfway there, but it's like since it's like the last 365 days, it's basically just like an Ouroboros. So I'm always kind of like halfway there because yeah, I'm getting more watch hours, but then my watch hours are also being like discounted because like it's been too long since that stream, basically. I like watching small independent VTubers than larger ones. That's fine. That's honestly fine. I do like watching big VTubers, but I kind of treat them like a podcast. I don't like talk much in them in their chat because it's not really. It's literally just like a sea of dredge. There's no point to it in my opinion, unless you want to like be part of the mob, I guess. Like if you have some, if you like that being part of like the mob mentality, I guess. I don't know. Like I guess like I never like I'm not like, the type of person to like spam emotes. I guess like the kind of person who likes that would like it. The emoji mob. Yes, yeah, I okay. I see the appeal in that, but like it's not like you can kind of have a conversation with them, and then sometimes you'll even be kind of like uh chastised for trying to like have like a conversation with the streamer, like bring something up because there's just like so many people, so you just kind of have to wrangle everybody together and have them be like very you know on subject all the time. Well, I like to just be scatterbrained, and I like the chat to just be like whatever. I'm friends with some VTubers from smaller followings. I feel like everybody knows one at this point. I feel overwhelmed. Well, I usually watch their VODs, like the video afterwards. And it's kind of like I said, I just treat it as like a podcast. But yeah, let's watch this video. I know about small five. Uh, I read that wrong. I know about 5 small VTubers. There's like a million bajillion, but I'm glad I'm one of the ones you know. That's very. There's some unlikely odds. Watching VODs feels weird to me. That's fine. I know a lot of people that think like that, but for me, it's just kind of like if it's interesting to me, then I'll watch whenever. Do you want to be my friend? I mean, I just met you like right now. Maybe it doesn't really work like that. Like you don't just be like, okay, friend now. It's kind of like a thing that happens over time. Okay, this video. Keep getting distracted.
The invention of the automobile predates the invention of the airplane by just 17 years, which many may find surprising. After all, driving is far more simple than flying, so it stands to reason that we
Is this
should
at
have
a good
figured out
volume?
one long before the other. But as it turns out, these two
Do
things have
not be
always
my friend.
been
I
a
promise
lot
it won't end
closer than
well.
you'd expect.
That's how I feel.
Officially, the first motor vehicle was patented by Carl Benz in 1886.
Carl Benz. Also, good day. Hello. Hello, Chase. Welcome. I feel like a lot of people are like, "Oh wow, I get to talk to this VTuber," and then they find out that I'm just super boring. Because a lot of people have just like DM'd me. I mean, my DMs are open, but then like they found out that like, wow, I'm just kind of plain. At least in DM, I don't know how to like be interesting in DMs or in like one-on-one interactions in general. To be honest, you're really helpful to me. Well, like I love helping people. Like if they have any questions or and I just love like I don't even know how to say that. I just love I don't have a better word for it, but I just love like mansplaining like the things that I know about. Like so if somebody has a question about um like streaming or I don't know, like something really specific that I know, then I love just like being like a know-it-all and being like, actually, you know, it's fun. I like helping people. I like seeming smart and also helping people. It's cool. I ride a motorcycle, play guitar, work on a farm. I don't consider myself interesting, but some people do. That sounds decently interesting. I'm a know-it-all when it comes to music. That's cool. I'm still learning about music, so yeah. I might do some music streams in the future or like kind of like study streams. They might actually be this week because I do have I do go back to school next week, so I might have some like me trying to like cram 2 semesters of music theory back into my brain because it definitely has fallen out. What time do you normally stream at? Uh, like around this time or sometime early in the morning. I don't really have a schedule. It's kind of like whenever I get time. Um, I don't think I'm not gonna be able to do like a load of morning streams anymore, like I used to. I used to like always do like a ton of like 8 a.m., 7 a.m., 9 a.m. kind of streams. It's not really that feasible for me anymore. Because I'm gonna be going to class at like I'm gonna be leaving at like 6 a.m. or something. Not maybe not that early, but pretty early. But I think there are some days where I can show up to class later. Like I have a class later in the day, and I think on those days maybe. But then again, I just like sleep. So yeah, I think you might get morning stream more often on the weekends. But also, I like to stay up late on the weekends. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to find a way to fit in more morning streams. Class, are you in college? Yeah, I'm going to college for music. I've actually got an associate's degree in music. But that's not really anything.
It sold for the equivalent of $5,000 and at a top speed of 10 miles per hour. This humble contraption would usher in the automotive world we know today. And as soon as we had cars, it was only a matter of time before we started
I love
racing
contraptions
them.
and doohickeys.
One of the pioneers of motorsport was a man by the name of Wilhelm Bauer, who would test drive vehicles for German automaker DMG. On March 30th, 1900, Bauer was slated to race the company's new Phoenix model at the Turbie Hill Climb in France. However, in the first corner, he lost control and suffered a fatal accident. By most accounts, Wilhelm Bauer had become the very first death in motorsports. It would be the last time the Phoenix ever raced. However,
is that supposed to be a race car? It looks like a tractor.
The ashes of the tragedy, DMG executive Emil Jelinek would improve upon his initial design. Over the next few months, he oversaw the development of a revolutionary new model. Unlike the horseless carriages that preceded it, this vehicle would be the first to truly resemble the cars
What's the wheel? What's that for?
Of today.
This looks like... Those are just like couches. They've just put like leather couches in this car.
During the production process, Jelinek decided to title the model after his 11-year-old daughter.
That beard goes crazy.
As fate would have it, this unsuspecting girl would forever be intertwined with the longest-running car brand in the world. Her name was Mercedes.
Whoa!
In the following years, the new model would dazzle the automotive industry.
It's like a fidget toy. Whoa! JP Morgan jump scare.
Becoming popular with many of the most powerful people on the planet. Its meteoric success would turn DMG into a commercial juggernaut. In 1926, they would merge with Carl Benz's company to solidify the present-day nomenclature of Mercedes-Benz. By this point, the temperament of Germany...
People don't realize how sketchy old vehicles are until you drive one. Same applies to motorcycles. I see like a bunch of like the old like the old like Ford, what do they call it? Like the Model Ts, like the super old like open like Ford like little with their little like steam engine weird thingies. I see like a bunch of those where I live. Like there's big like people are big on like those really vintage cars and like driving them around for some reason too, which is crazy. Yeah, usually they're just sitting in a garage, but people are like opting to drive them a lot over here. Maybe not the super old, like maybe like 19. Like I've seen like something that looks like from the 40s or something.
It had changed
just like driving
considerably.
Around.
The car brand, which had originally shared its name with a Jewish
like stuff that looks like this
child, would soon become the favorite of one Adolf Hitler. By the Second World War, Mercedes had to momentarily divert their resources away from car production as their focus shifted from the road to the skies. Daimler-Benz would be one of several companies commissioned by the Third Reich to construct engines for German fighter jets. Mercedes' horsepower would be instrumental in the Blitzkrieg, which terrorized Europe for more than half a decade. All of a sudden, what was once a simple luxury car brand had fallen into an insidious fate. To satisfy the...
That's great. I did not know that. My brother keeps trying to import old Japanese cars. They are okay cars. I think, yeah. Japanese cars are at least good. I don't know. They're good cars, but meh. I'm not like too crazy about cars. I just need something that drives, you know?
Enormous demands of wartime production, the company would resort to using forced labor, much of which came directly from concentration camps. When it was all said and done, the rest of the world had discovered a powerful...
Japanese cars are very common in California. I mean, it's right across the ocean from Japan, so... And a lot of people there like to import, like, due to their mileage. That makes a lot of sense. Like, and they're, like, super tiny. There's, like, cute... There's a lot of those, like, those tiny, like, pickup trucks. I know Ludwig, the streamer, got one. And he also got a Vespa for some reason. I don't know how to drive manual. Neither do I.
powerful omen. When Mercedes start flying, it's usually a sign that something has gone seriously wrong.
You got into the wrong car once because someone else didn't lock their car? Dang. Sometimes that happens. Like, I just see like I've got like a white car, so I just see like a similar looking white car, and then I start walking towards it, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's not my car. But I've never gone so far as to like, you know, try the door handle. I think my car actually looks pretty different. I never see, weirdly enough, I never see my model of car. I think I've seen it like once, one other time on the road, which is strange because it's not anything elegant. I guess people just don't like it.
Officially, the Germans surrendered in the May of 1945. However, in many aspects,
Your grandpa told you that he lived in Italy in 1963 and owned a Vespa. That sounds like peak.
the war never really ended. It had simply moved to a new battleground. By the 1950s, the Germans and English had taken the fight to the racetrack, and out of all the venues in motorsports, none was more prestigious.
I wish that was me.
Than
I wish that was your
Le Mans.
grandpa.
Since the
That
birth
sounds
of
a lot
auto
cooler
racing,
than what
France's
I do
premier
now.
endurance event has stood as the ultimate test of man and machine. For 24 hours, competitors must navigate the high-speed circuit, a process made especially challenging by the 3-mile-long Mulsanne Straight. The section is one of the fastest parts of any course in the world. Ordinarily a public highway, the road surface is bumpy and abrasive, placing tremendous strain on engines as vehicles approach their top speed. In order to win at Le Mans, race teams must strike a delicate
Isn't this from
balance
a movie?
between performance and longevity. This unique test of
You're gonna get me
engineering
striked.
skill would attract the industry's top manufacturers. By the 1950s, Mercedes had established itself as one of the teams to beat with their iconic Silver Arrow.
Oh.
They spent the early part of the decade trading wins with Jaguar and Ferrari.
These cars look so silly. They're like little hot dogs. They look like they just got like no form to them. They're just like formless. They're just like like finger shaped,
Who had entered into an automotive arms race.
like a
By
missile.
1955, the rivalry would reach its breaking point.
I guess it makes sense. Like missile go fast.
Years of rapid innovation had contributed to higher top speeds than ever before, beyond what the existing infrastructure was designed to support.
Richard Scarry.
An
I
hour
don't know
into
what
the
that is.
race, Jaguar driver Mike Hawthorne set the lap record for
They're
the
like Hot
circuit.
Wheels.
Just moments
I think
later,
Hot Wheels are.
he would instigate the
I
biggest
think a lot of them are
disaster
just
in
modeled
racing
after
history.
these.
On the 35th lap, Hawthorne slowed abruptly to begin his pit cycle, forcing Austin Healey driver Lance Macklin to swerve around him. In the commotion, Mercedes driver Pierre Levay collided with Macklin, launching his vehicle airborne at over 120 miles per hour,
Oh, dang.
directly into the crowd. And just like that, a Mercedes was flying again.
Uh-oh.
In 1955, there was no
I didn't think it was about this. I thought it was like I just saw like a video once of like a car doing a really funny flip. And I thought it was gonna be that. I don't know about that. This sounds like it killed people.
fence protecting the grandstands at Le Mans. Debris from Levay's disintegrating car blasted the
Oh,
spectators
jeez.
at full force.
That's great.
In the
Imagine
blink of-
just being like watching this race and all of a sudden one of the cars just comes whirling towards you, like in midair.
Of an eye, more than 80 people had perished.
Jeez.
The world of motorsports had arrived at its Armageddon, and Mercedes found itself at ground zero. Unbelievably, the race was not stopped.
Oh, dang. I thought they were gonna be like unbelievably the person in the car survived. But then like looking at the car, it's like there ain't no way.
Crews gradually cleaned up the track as drivers continued to blow past
They just
at
cleaned
full
it up?
speed. By now,
Wow.
Levay's demolished car had burst into flames. The fire department was unable to extinguish the magnesium chassis, which just sat there, burning for hours. Lap after lap, Mercedes' remaining entry had to drive past the hellish remains of its mirror image.
Damn.
It's hard to say when exactly Europe moved on from the Second World
Literally just driving past like this pile of dead bodies. That's kind of morbid.
War, but it was clear at this point that Germany's greatest manufacturer still had some sort of cosmic debt to pay. As night fell, Mercedes had
Cosmic
taken
debt.
the
I've heard that
lead,
before.
and the gruesome details of the tragedy began to emerge. After hours of witnessing the same unnerving display, the team had seen enough. When the clock struck midnight, the race director
Yeah, I would
decided
have seen
not to
enough
tempt
too.
fate any further. Mercedes withdrew from the
Like, hey, maybe we
race,
should
just
stop.
12 hours from victory. The decision effectively handed the win to Jaguar, as Mike Hawthorne, the driver who started this
What's
whole
up with
chain
his
of
hair?
events, hoisted the trophy the next afternoon. The aftermath that followed
Imagine being this happy after so many people
would not
died.
be so joyous. The tragedy prompted an
Whoa,
immediate ban
yippee.
on motorsports across most of Europe,
Damn, a
some of which
ban
remained in
on-
place until
on it?
just 2
Wow.
years ago. To this
Whoa.
day, auto racing has never seen
Switzerland. Wow, they really hated them, huh?
another disaster like it. Following months of government investigation, no one in particular could be found at fault. Hoping to appease whatever
But who's racing in Switzerland?
vengeful spirit they had angered, Mercedes would not
There's like the two guys really into motorsports in Switzerland that are finally like, yes, we're able to race in Switzerland now.
return to Le Mans for the foreseeable future. And as for Mike Hawthorne, the curse of that dark day would eventually catch up to him. Just 4 years later, he was fatally injured in a road accident, losing control of his Jaguar while attempting to pass a Mercedes. As the years went on,
Did they say what happened to the driver? Was he the driver? I'm confused now.
racing eventually returned. Le Mans received some much-needed safety improvements, and the cars that raced there went from looking like this to this.
Yeah.
As our understanding of
what I know.
aerodynamics improved, the speeds crept higher and higher. All the while, Mercedes watched from the sidelines. They saw numerous racing dynasties come and go, from Ferrari to Ford to the most dominant of all, Porsche. Maybe it was all that
Porsche.
glory from a national rival that enticed them to get back into the fight. Maybe it was a new generation of leadership who had forgotten the superstition of the past. Either way, Mercedes decided the time had come to return to Le Mans. They just couldn't stay away. This time, however, they didn't go in alone. Before committing to a full factory team, they would have to completely rebuild their in-house racing program. In the meantime, they partnered with Swiss constructor Sauber.
I wonder how safe these cars are in comparison to like road compliant cars. Like, do they just like really just strip away everything like in terms of safety just to get to that like top speed?
Who would compete under the Mercedes banner. Their new model, the C8, was set to make its gallant debut at the 1985
I don't know anything
running
about
of Le
cars,
Mans.
so
Unfortunately, the new program got off to a rather inauspicious start.
oh.
30 years later and nothing had changed. The moment Mercedes returned to Le Mans, they were once again sent airborne. Although this time,
Really?
the circumstances of the incident were quite different.
The front end gets light and over 140 and wants to lift off and fly to Hawaii.
By the 1980s, race cars were beginning to reach unthinkable speeds, largely due to innovations in controlling downforce.
Dang.
As a car cuts through the air, the body can be sculpted in a way so that the resulting pressure sticks the car to the racing surface, increasing grip. However, at certain unstable...
I don't even know, like 200 miles per hour. You're gonna have to give me like a comparison to that, because I don't know how fast that is. Genuinely. Like, I wouldn't be able to visualize it, I guess.
orientations, downforce can be overpowered by lift, sending the car upward. Under the most extreme speeds, such as the ones at the end of the Mulsanne Strait, drivers were becoming increasingly susceptible to taking off. For Mercedes,
Oh! Wait, that actually explains a video I saw. Like, I saw a car just being, like, it was just, like, you know, going straight, and then all of a sudden, it just went up. And I was so confused. Like, it just went up, and, like, it looked like a glitch in, like, GTA or something. Like, it just went up. And I'm like, what? Like, how did that happen? But no, like this explains it.
Mercedes, this new incident of
Like,
terror
they're just going so fast that they literally watched us take off.
certainly
Basically,
didn't bode well for their racing return. But they
like
were
the cars
able
just
to come out of
want to
it
go.
mostly unscathed.
They want
Driver
to
John
get out. They want to
Nielsen walked
go off
away
this
from the
earth.
wreck in one piece, and since it occurred during a practice session, it was hardly documented. Despite the rude awakening, Mercedes would carry on. Starting in
How's the driver,
1987,
though?
the
You
team
don't
would
talk about the
debut the new and
drivers.
improved Sauber C9. Despite showing promising lap times, the model struggled to stay on track. 4 years into their Le Mans return, Mercedes had failed to finish a single race. But their
Oh, man.
fortunes would turn around after the return of a familiar foe. In 1988, Jaguar was victorious at Le Mans for the first time in 30 years.
Le Mans.
Perhaps this was the inspiration Mercedes needed to finally get their mojo back, because in
mojo.
1989, the Silver Arrow re-emerged as the class of the field. On that day, Mercedes was unbeatable.
Whoa.
In fact, the cars were so quick that they ushered in the end of an era. During qualifying, the Sauber C9 went just shy of 250 miles per hour on the Mulsanne Straight.
Oh, dang.
Fearing another catastrophe, the race directors determined that they had to get the speeds under control. And so, starting in
Yeah, I
1990,
could imagine.
a pair of chicanes were installed to interrupt the fastest part of the track. Following the layout change, Mercedes lost all of its competitive edge.
Oh.
Just as they had finally hit their stride, they were sent back to the drawing board. After several more years of lackluster performance, they withdrew from Le Mans once again to focus on other racing endeavors. This time, however, they wouldn't be gone for long. After finding success in the FIA GT Championship, Mercedes decided to give it one more shot. With the millennium soon approaching, the manufacturer was closing in on their 100th year of racing. And
does
what
somebody
better way
get
to
into-
celebrate
I
than
know
by
they're like-
capping off the century?
There are like hobby racetracks that like anyone can just like drive their car onto, and they can like go around the track and like with like other people and stuff. How does someone get into that hobby? It seems kind of like dangerous. And what if you're using your car that you like take to work? What if something happens to it? I don't know. It's just like I value my my transportation too much to just be like, yeah, I'm just gonna play around with it. And just like, oops, just crashed, just destroyed this $60,000 like, expense. I don't know. Would auto insurance cover that? I don't know. They go very fast. I guess so.
With a victory at Le Mans.
That must be the
By now,
appeal.
Mercedes were finally ready to field a genuine factory team, so that the glory would be all theirs. Their first race back in 1998, they looked as if they hadn't skipped a beat by qualifying on pole. The triumph was short-lived, however, as both entries would retire from the race due to mechanical issues. But no matter, the cars had already proven they were fast enough. With a few tweaks, they should be able to stay on
You gotta
track
go
and
fast.
cruise to victory. In 1999, Mercedes returned to Le Mans with their pinnacle of engineering, the CLR, a machine that represented 100 years of innovation. The car had an unmistakable look, its most iconic feature being the familiar Mercedes stylization on the front end. Throughout the company's history at Le Mans,
I don't
no other
actually know
entry
what
had
Mercedes
undergone more
cars look like.
extensive preparation. After 20,000 miles of testing,
like that.
no major problems could be found. By all accounts, everything was coming together for the last hurrah of the Silver Arrow.
Then what happened?
Entering the race weekend,
Like, did
Mercedes
the bizarre accident happen yet? I guess we're leading up to it still.
unveiled their holy trinity, 3 CLRs and 3 opportunities at making history. Over the next few days, the team
I thought the bizarre accident was like the initial crash, but I guess it feels like it's leading up to something bad.
would certainly rise to the occasion, just not in the way they had envisioned.
Or like literally rising? Like taking off?
The first sign of trouble appeared during qualifying, when the number 4 entry wound up totaled on the Indianapolis Straight.
Oop.
Driver Mark Webber was hospitalized, where he was treated for minor injuries. As
Minor
reports of
injuries
the
after
accident
that.
emerged, it was revealed that Mercedes had once again gone airborne. Since the wreck occurred at an unpopulated part of the track, no footage was captured. For the time
Did they
being,
just slip
the
it under
reason
the-
for the
the
mishap
rug?
could not be determined. Was it just a freak accident, or possibly
Epic car
something
flip
more?
animation.
Despite the ominous turn of events, Mercedes would not be discouraged.
Miss John
Later
Mercedes.
in the day, they announced that they would not only remain in the race, but that the number 4 CLR would be rebuilt in time for the main event on Saturday. Less than 48 hours after checking out of the hospital, Mark Webber was
Man,
back
they have the
behind the wheel. The
mechanics
team had worked
working
around the clock to
overtime.
get the car ready just in time for the final practice session on Saturday morning. When the trio reunited on track, they must have been feeling pretty inspired, until it happened again.
We've got a car on its roof already. How on
Was
earth
there
does
footage
this
of it?
happen? This is amazing. This happened
Yeah, how
in
did it happen?
the
Can't we
qualifying
see the flip?
sessions. This car flipped over in qualifying, and it looks as though
Oh,
exactly
we
the
didn't see
same
it.
thing has happened again. How on
Okay.
earth?
If it wasn't already, Mercedes' little problem had now become known
Yeah,
to
I
the
seen a
rest
video
of the
just
world,
like that. Like a car
as
was just
television
driving.
cameras caught a live view of
Wait,
Webber's
we get to
car
see it.
lying on its roof at the end of the
What?
Mulsanne Straight.
Why
The
can't we
number
see
4
the
CLR
Why is he not showing us the flip in action?
had taken off for a second time. It was now clear that the first accident was no fluke. There was a fundamental flaw with the aerodynamics of the CLR. As it turns out, the defect could be traced back to the car's oh-so-stylish front end. The nose of the vehicle was designed abnormally long. This excessive overhang allowed more leverage for the air to generate lift. Under extreme turbulence, such as entering the slipstream of
see.
another car, the balance of the CLR could be disrupted enough to send the whole thing flying.
Shit,
Now,
like a
just a
plane
few
wing.
hours
Yeah,
until the
that
green
certainly
flag,
doesn't,
Mercedes was in a state of
doesn't help
pandemonium.
with the
With
whole
Webber's car destroyed
taking
once
off
again,
thing.
only 2 entries could continue to the race. But would it even make sense to let them? The machines were clearly hazardous, but could they really let an entire year of effort go to waste? Perhaps the contagion was limited to the 4 car, and the other 2 had nothing to worry about, despite being
Cool.
manufactured to the same specifications. Ultimately, the decision came down to the drivers. While Christophe Bouchy expressed concerns about the number 5 car, he was overruled by the others. After all, it's a dream to race at Le Mans. But the thing about dreams is that no one is ever prepared when they turn into a nightmare.
Oh. What happened?
After some emergency modifications to increase downforce, the remaining CLRs rolled off the grid. As the afternoon went on,
gonna show us
it
the
was
flip now?
cautiously smooth sailing for the Mercedes. Boucher's concerns appeared to be assuaged, as he made it to the first driver swap without incident. Replacing him in the 5 car was
Driver
Peter
swap?
Dumbreck, who would carry on into
I didn't know
the
they
evening.
swapped drivers.
As dusk began to fall, Dumbreck had worked his way up to a battle for second with one of the Toyotas. When the pair entered the Indianapolis Straight, they turned to face the setting sun. With the drivers momentarily blinded, the Mercedes drew ever so close to the back of the Toyota.
Oh.
The rest, as they say, is history.
Huh? What is this like? What is this like reimagining of it? Can't we just see the footage?
Some people only watch racing for the accidents, and while they're often chastised by the rest of the motorsports community for missing the point, I sort of understand the appeal. While it's easy to write off this side of racing as mindless
not being able to
carnage,
see their face,
there's
you know
something
exactly what they're
spectacular
thinking.
about it that speaks to us on a deeper level. In sports, there are plenty of stories about glory, but the wisest
Yeah,
lessons
get that,
are
get
often
that.
taught by catastrophic
Get it on camera.
failure. In order to truly appreciate something for its greatness,
Don't show
you
Eloise,
have
though. He's
to
not allowed-
witness
he's
it
not
at
allowed
its
to see it.
most dysfunctional. In these rare moments, the accidents tell us more than the racing ever could.
Oh! It has gone again!
Oh my god. What is that? It looks like a Beyblade. What the heck?
Obviously the wrong decision to actually race.
What? It's fortunate, I guess. Do a flip. They backed up and left. Yeah, went back to making airplanes. They say should have. and it's funny that they call it bizarre when they like go out of their way to like explain why it happened, so it's no longer bizarre. But yeah, that's pretty bizarre, I think. At least I finally knew. I watched one video where like a just there was like just race cars going like along a straightaway, and one of them just like flipped like randomly. I had no idea what happened. Now I'm just like, oh, okay. I kind of get it. Thing go fast equal fly? I don't know. Next video. Wait. Yeah. Next video. 12 minutes of Japan facts. I can't read the rest.
I
You
asked
probably didn't know. I love this channel. I watched this channel a few times. Japan analysis. I just like their presentation and just like their commentary is funny too, and it's always like wacky stories as well. I don't know.
I asked my Japanese friends for interesting lore about their country, and they did not disappoint. So let's get started.
Yippee.
Japanese people bow on the phone. Yeah, it's
They
true.
bow on
It's
the
just so
phone. That's so funny. Yeah, that's cute.
culturally ingrained to bow when you're thanking someone or making a request. They make fun of themselves.
I mean, people make I've seen people make hand motions while they're on the phone, and like they're not going like it makes sense. This one makes sense.
For it all the time. Near the end of my time in Japan, even I was doing it. What can I say? Bowing is infectious. Japan doesn't have rabies. When my
Huh?
friend sent me this fact, I was immediately skeptical, but a quick Google search informed me that, yeah, Japan is one of a few countries in the world that don't have rabies.
How
they
do
had
you
some
not-
really bad outbreaks in the early
I
1900s,
do not have
but they've
rabies.
had
How
no
does that
cases
happen?
since 1957. Other large countries without rabies include Australia, New Zealand,
Ah.
and the UK, among a few others.
I didn't know it was just like a. Ever seen Italian on a phone call? I mean, probably. That's like I thought rabies was just something that kind of occurred naturally in the wild. I didn't know it was just like a thing that had to be spread. To be honest.
By the way, there's apparently this thing in India where people who get bit by dogs think that they have puppies growing inside of them.
Oh.
Okay then. There's a clapping ritual that every Japanese person knows. You know those dumb chants people do at sports games? Well, in a way, that's how Japanese people end their meetings.
I think I've like seen this.
That pattern is called ipponjime, but there are other patterns too.
Whoa, they got
Sanbonjime
names? I didn't know that. I've seen this before. I don't know when or where.
is the most formal. It's for big celebrations.
But I didn't know there were like
Yeah, it's just 3 ipponjime.
there's like they're like fighting game combos or something.
And then there's ichojime, which is just one clap.
Like you gotta memorize the combos for social interaction. That's crazy.
Ha, he did the wrong clap. Or did he?
Or did he?
What they wanted was an ichojime. He was actually right. He was set up. And the people in the comments are pissed. For Japanese people, these claps are serious business. There's a city in Japan where people ride escalators differently. Escalators are very orderly in Japan. If you've ever been to Tokyo, you've seen lines of people stood perfectly on the left side to allow people to climb up on the right. This is the same all over Japan, except one place, Osaka, where people stand.
Are you a let the escalator take you kind of person, or are you like a I'm running up the escalator but it's like I'm running up the stairs but like at twice the speed because it's an escalator kind of person? I never saw the reason to like run up an escalator. Like you're reaching the top regardless. I don't know what the rush is. I guess if you're late for a flight maybe, but like that's it. Like I just don't see any reason for it really.
And on the right. This can be very jarring to people who spend a lot of time outside Osaka and then go there. The reason
Never
for
been
this
late.
is that Osaka was
Well, like I'm never late. The only time I'm ever in like contact with escalators is when I'm at an airport. What, like there's no buildings I'm going to that have escalators in them. I don't work in any big office buildings or there's no subway or train stations where I live. It's literally just like the airport and then maybe like Kohl's.
chosen for Expo 1970, and the government thought it might be easier for foreigners if everyone stood on the right side, which I think is a bit of a misunderstanding of how the rest of the world works, but whatever. The 1970 Expo is really important to Osakan people, and you can still go visit the grounds today. In 2018, they were chosen to host it again in 2025, and people were pretty excited. Japanese people invented drifting centuries ago. Getting carried around used to be a common form of transportation in Japan, and it wasn't just people. This is called an omikoshi, a vehicle of the gods. That's right, God is in here apparently. But there's a cooler, more extreme sports version where they drift and whip it around corners with people riding on top. The vehicle is called a danjiri, and it weighs like 4 tons and can cost over $1 million. Sometimes they can mess up and cause a lot of damage to public property, but the city probably doesn't mind because people come from all over Japan to see these festivals happen. Job quitting.
I like it. It's just so many people that they can, there's so many people holding it that they can move it as fast as like a car. I don't know. It's just
quitting
silly.
your job is so difficult in Japan that there are these new
I've heard of this. Actually,
services that will do it for you. Japanese companies will shame you, guilt trip you, and call you a traitor just to get you to stay. Sometimes they'll even threaten to withhold your remaining pay.
Oh my god.
When my friend mentioned these, I thought it was like one obscure company doing it, but it's actually a massive social phenomenon that's actively changing Japan's awful work culture. One of the main reasons people quit is that companies lie in the hiring process. Get this, in Japan, a 5-day work week is considered a perk. So they'll write this on the job posting: 2 days of weekly holidays. Or at least that's what you'd think if you read that, but what this actually means is that 1 time per month you get 2 days off. A lot of people get tricked by stuff like
What?
this, which explains why thousands of people are using these job quitting agents now. And the boomers hate it.
But I don't know. Why would you even do that though? Like why do you think your employees are going to show up and do their best at work if you're like scamming them like that? Like you gotta work with your employees, man. It's not like an us versus them. Like it's this machine is gonna fall apart if nobody's, if none of the gears are going. I don't know why there's such like lack of disrespect. Lack of respect. I just like did a double negative by accident.
Japan has tons of these weird hireable services. You guys
What's going on? We're watching a video about weird Japan facts.
With the rental girlfriend service where you can pay to have a woman come and accompany you to a wedding or family event. But have you heard of the middle-aged man rental where you just hire a
middle-aged man rental? I want to be I want to be this when I'm older.
Guy to go for a drive or give you advice?
That's
what about
so
morning call?
Just rent a dad. I need that.
Where you can pay to have someone wake you up every day. God, imagine your
I need that.
friend tells you he's running out of money, having trouble budgeting, and you check his finances and he's spending $50 a month on morning calls. Then they got this gravestone visitor service.
Oh, calls. I thought like somebody like enters your house and like shakes you until you wake up. Because I need that, honestly. Calls aren't going to do it.
Normally, especially in Japan, you visit your relatives' gravestones, clean them off, and leave like flowers, alcohol, or food as gifts for them in the afterlife, right? But yeah, in Japan, you can pay someone to do that, so you have more time to game. Japan has baby
What's
sumo
even the point? If you're not doing it, what's the point?
wrestling. Kind of. When you think of two sumo wrestlers squaring off in the ring, you probably don't expect them to be holding a baby in their arms and trying to make it cry. But that's exactly what this is, and the first one to do so is the winner. Not only that, people pay hundreds of dollars to have their baby participate. Why? Well, it's all based off the expression nakuko wa sodatsu, meaning crying babies grow up healthy. So winning in crying sumo is a really good sign for your child's future.
直前まで泣いてたんですけど、意外と本番泣かなくて、泣けーって感じでした。
Japan was mapped by a single person on foot. You guys ever play the game Civilization? In this game, sometimes your country can randomly spawn a super
funny
genius
enough to
guy,
be true.
and this guy was basically one of those. His name is Ino Tadataka, and he's legendary. Back in the 1700s, he begged the government to fund an expedition to map the country, but they refused, so he set off on foot. For 17 years, he walked around the entire country and created very detailed maps. As he got closer to finishing, the government finally realized how good he was and fully funded his expedition, including hiring a full squad of assistants for him. Eventually, he produced the most accurate map of Japan ever at that point. It was so accurate that countries would later use copies of it when they were attacking Japan. This one's a bit complicated, so I'll just explain it. At the peak of the bubble
what
economy,
autism looked like in the whenever that was, like the 700s.
1988, the Japanese government had more money than they could spend. One of the crazy projects
I wish I got that kind of autism and not the laying in bed watching VTubers kind of autism.
Undertook with these excess funds was a small town revitalization project where they gave the equivalent of $1 million to random small towns to do whatever they wanted with. Some of them invested the money, some of them upgraded their infrastructure, but a lot of them just did crazy shit. One city turned their train station into this. The eyes light up every time a train comes by.
Why?
Another city produced these fish statues made of real gold, but they kept getting stolen.
There's so many empty amusement parks in Japan because of stuff like this. That's really like, even in Japan, I'm sure like a bunch of like social programs still need like help and stuff. I mean, there were still like homeless people, and it's like, nah, giant fish.
Over and over, and they were losing so much money that they just gave up. The funniest one is this city in Yamanashi who spent it all building a massive roller slide designed to be the longest in Japan at 247 meters long. But then 3 days after it opened, a longer one opened up in the prefecture next door.
But why?
Japan has a second set of days of the week. Okay, to get it out of the way, Japan normally uses the same 7 days as us. But did you know that they also have a second set of days of the week? They imported it from China hundreds of years ago, and it repeats 6 days that all have to do with your luck, which people care a lot about. So calendars used to look like this with the 6-day week in the top right corner.
I'm not a luck
they still
person.
sell these. But nowadays, people
I
only
don't
care
buy
about
things
these
that have to
3
do with
days.
luck.
Tomobiki, which
Maybe it's
implies
'cause I just have
bringing
terrible
friends
luck.
with you, is avoided when people are scheduling funerals for obvious reasons. Butsumetsu, which is
Like stuff like this and like that astrology stuff. Yeah, nah.
named after Buddha's death, is super unlucky. So a lot of Japanese people will not move houses or get married on this day. Wedding companies will discount this day for foreigners who don't know or care and just want to get married in Japan. Taiyan is the super lucky day. People love to go to the horse races or buy lottery tickets on this day, so the gambling companies love to remind you when it's coming. Pachinko parlors too. It's not just gambling though. The belief that Taiyan is a lucky day is so pervasive that Sony has released all of their consoles on this day, except the PS Vita. And what happened? Checkmate liberals, the 6-day week is real.
Checkmate.
In the 1600s,
True.
Japan
I had a
banned meat,
PS
and it
Vita.
still
It
affects
was,
society
kinda...
today. Meat was banned by Tokugawa Tsunayoshi.
I like the menus though. When you like scrolled through the menus on the PS Vita, the icons were all like little Skittles, and they would jiggle around. They're cute.
Known as the Shogun who loved dogs, and he didn't just ban eating meat, he banned killing animals under any circumstances. But not everyone obeyed this. Restaurants disguised themselves as pharmacies and sold meat as a health supplement. These pharmacies came up with code names for the meat too, like horse meat was called sakura because its raw form looks like cherry blossoms. Boar meat was called botan because it looks like this flower, and chicken meat kashiwa. The most interesting part is that these words, that used to be code names, are commonly used in Japanese today for their specific meats. In Japan, there's an island with more cats than humans on it. Tashirojima, 5
I've
hours
heard
north of
of this as
Tokyo on
well.
the bullet train, is home to more than 150 cute
The cat
felines.
island. I want to go to the cat
reason there's so many
island.
cats is because the island's residents used to raise silkworms for textiles, and mice are a natural predator of silkworms, so cats were an obvious solution. Eventually, the cats were let free and kind of took over the island. Tashirojima's inhabitants are mostly elderly nowadays, so the island could end up being uninhabited in the near future. The Japanese beckoning gesture. Yes.
Like, how are people not like flocking out in droves to live on the cat island? I just like don't understand it. Like, I guess like in rural Japan, there's probably no internet or whatever. But, like, there has to be people who are like, I'm living on the cat island. I don't care if it kills me. You know? It's a cat island, man.
So the way Japanese people beckon is a bit different to us. Here's my friend, YouTuber Jack Song, to explain.
Okay, so this is the
Oh,
Western
jeez.
gesture.
I guess. Much more people who are obsessed with cats,
And
though,
this is
who
the
are,
Japanese gesture.
and are
If
allergic.
you're a Westerner, it's easy to mistake this gesture for being shooed away. But no, they're not being rude, they're actually calling you over.
俺は Japan analysis が大好きなんだよ
Thanks, Jack. Love you too, buddy. White rice was a leading cause of death in Japan for a long time. You know how Japanese people love rice? Well, they used to love it a little too much. Back in the Edo period, as it became more available to common folk and
I
became
love white
the
rice.
staple food, people were basically consuming exclusively white rice. This led to vitamin deficiencies that people at the time thought was
Oh.
a sickness and called the Edo disease. Now we know this as beriberi or thiamine deficiency. Thiamine is contained in the brown part of the rice that they were removing. This deficiency ravaged Japan, especially their navy, for a very long time, until a doctor named Takaki Kanehiro noticed that Western navies were not succumbing to the same issues. So he arranged an experiment where the next fleet would be sent out with bread and meat instead. That fleet came back without the quote-unquote disease, which proved his theory, saving hundreds of thousands of lives. Japanese people put
dang.
money
That's one way to do it. It's so funny though. It's like people would just like drop dead and they wouldn't know why. And now we just know like, oh, it's because like you just weren't getting the things that your body needs. Yeah, like scurvy, like vitamin deficiency. What is that? What else is in thiamine? I guess like meat. I guess there's plenty of meat, of thiamine and like meat and stuff. I'm sure I get no like. That's why I can never go without meat because it's so good for that stuff. It's got so much good in it.
in their shoes.
Can't go without it.
You know how your grandma tells you boomer life hacks and most of the time they're bullshit, but sometimes they're super useful? This is one of the useful ones that Japanese grandmas tell their children. If your shoes are stinky, putting a 10 yen coin in them will remove the odor.
What?
And you know what? Apparently it works. It has to do with like the copper ions reacting with
Would that work with pennies then as well?
the moisture in the shoe. I don't really know. Maybe someone can explain it in the comments. I don't want to read this one out loud. I'll just explain it. You know how people celebrate their child's first steps, first word, or first day at school? Well, in Japan, they celebrate something else, too. Their daughter's first time of the month. It started hundreds of years ago. On this day, the mom will make red rice to let the father and grandparents
Oh,
know
I've heard about this as well. I don't know when or where or what, like, why, but I have heard about this. Because I didn't remember it because it's kind of gross.
what happened. But it's kind of creepy, so the number of households that do it has fallen over the years.
Yeah.
It's still around 35% though. One of my friends I asked about this told me that yeah, her family did it and it was really embarrassing. Well, that's all the facts I can fit in this video, but I have more. Part 2 linked in the description. It's on Patreon, but it's
No, I'm not going to your Patreon. I don't care if it's free. Your mom made you the red rice? Oh my god. Was it good at least? I don't know. I would not want the red rice. I don't even.
How you going? Today,
Okay.
I'm answering the age-old question of
Not my fave. Oh, hairy legs. Okay. Nice. Chunky marinara sauce.
how you going? Today, I'm answering the age-old question of, if I put a gun on the bottom of my soccer shoe, will it make me better at kicking?
I want something like this, but it's like it like makes you jump higher. Like, I don't know. Like shotgun shoes or something. Or like rocket jump boots.
Right, the real reason I'm making this is I got a new tool, a milling machine. And of course, the first thing I want to make is a gun. But I'm Australian and they won't let me. So I figure this soccer boot is a good middle ground. And if you don't know what a milling machine does, it was one of the first great machines invented by humanity that grinds grain into flour. And mine is pretty good at that, but it also uses these multi-directional cutting bits to cut metal in any direction you want.
That's crazy.
Alex, hang on.
I'm not like I'm not creative enough to like take advantage of something like that, but I know how easy that must make like some things, like some projects.
You aren't milling yet. You're dreaming. You still need to get it off your ute.
I have a functioning hidden blade like Assassin's Creed 3. I really wanted one when I was a kid. I was so desperate. I was like looking up how to like make them online, and they were like, yeah, you just get like this little, they were using like little springs that you would get in like a drawer and like just really scuffed, like they're like, yeah, get this like piece of metal and fashion our blade out of it. It's like, what the heck? I saw some really scuffed stuff on the YouTube. I really wanted one though. Now I could just buy a replica, but I just don't for whatever reason. Guess I would much prefer if it actually cut stuff. Which someone probably makes one that cuts stuff, but at that point I'm just buying a weapon.
Buying big machines is very easy, but moving them is the hard part, which is why I put off getting a milling machine for so long. And after 6 hours of pushing, pulling, cutting into my tray, and regretting that I'm not a cooking channel, we finally managed to get the milling machine on the engine hoist and onto the stand. And I really did consider just keeping this 500 kilo machine in the back of the ute and then travelling Australia, making a mobile service for kids that need guns and their bicycles fixed. But to do that, I need to learn how to use it first. And in order to get accurate cuts, I first need to line up this vise so it's completely perpendicular with the milling head. And to do this, I'm going to use this dial indicator, and I'll let you in on a little machining secret. You touch it on this side, and then make it 0, and then you run it all the way along the vise.
Would you be a cooking channel? I'm not that great at cooking. I just put stuff in the air fryer.
And you just turn this to 0. And now, no matter how wonky your vise is, it will always read as being straight. And now I can start. And I'm going to use this bandsaw to cut the metal down first. And here's another hot machining tip for you. Place a spring under the bandsaw to soften the fall of parts when they've finished cutting.
I'm too scared to even do like small DIY projects. Even like, I don't know, opening up my own computer is kind of like risky business for me.
Okay, now my part is hidden somewhere within this metal block. Sorry, this metal block. And it's time to take the first cuts, which at first I was excited about, but then I learned that milling is mostly using these things to constantly make sure your parts remain square every time you move anything around. But luckily my milling machine also...
The wildest thing I ever created. My dynamite arrows. And flash powder. Okay. Are those kind of like there's like those little things, I think they're called like poppets or something. They're just like little like things, and when you throw them on the ground they explode, but like a really small explosion. Is it kind of like that?
Came with this digital readout that makes working with the machine so much easier. All I need to do is type in what I want, and then the machine does all the work.
Okay, so it's more like actual fireworks, like a Roman candle or something. I love Roman candles. They're so silly. I love how like anyone is just allowed to like just like buy one of those. They literally it's like a stick where you just like point it you point it at things and they just like they get like exploded. It's funny. What the? Oh my god. How do you get that precise with it? It's actually impressive. Do they just like... I'm guessing it's like they just put coordinates in the machine.
I faced one side, but now discovered something.
And it kind of like... Is there just like a... I don't know how it works. I don't know if it's like similar to like a 3D printer where like someone has like a kind of like a recipe that they can then share with other people that they can make it in their machines. My friend made shotgun firework rounds. Have you seen the confetti rounds? I love the confetti rounds video. Hold on. I kind of want to show it. I forgot what the video was called. I think like 12 gauge confetti round. I love this meme.
The last round we're going to use is a 12 gauge confetti round.
Something pretty annoying about milling. It produces and throws the sharpest metal chips out of
A
any of
12
the
gauge
machines I own,
confetti round.
which makes being barefoot in the garage very fun.
That is a good one.
And after an hour of cutting, I now have exactly the same piece I started with, except it's flat. Then I just cut out some chunks with the bandsaw while I worked out what I'm actually doing. Now the plan is to have a shoe, and then underneath I have this mechanism which slides, and there are rounds in the back that will get squished when the ball hits the front of the mechanism, and then they go off, blasting this hammer out the front into the ball. So I tidied up the side parts and then drilled some holes.
Really.
And even though I have a digital readout to tell me exactly where the middle is, my holes are still off center, straighter than they usually are though. Next I made the hammer, which is going to make contact with the ball. And I'm going to use this spear gun shaft for the pistons, which is made out of super strong steel, and then press fit it into this block. And press fitting is just a fancy way of saying that I'm just going to hit it really hard with a hammer until it squishes in and hopefully stays in there and doesn't fly out and kill me or any passerbys whose families might sue me. But I got ahead of myself and forgot that I wanted to cut some grooves into these pins to put some O-rings in, so that way I'd get a nice airtight fit in the barrel. But before I could put it in my lathe to do that, I forgot again and hit in the other pin. But it's actually a good thing, as I already get to do my first test and see how fast the blank rounds get the hammer flying.
It was so scuffed.
Okay, now with some rounds in it while I cower behind this wall.
I have to sleep. Alright, good night. Ooh. Oh my gosh. I'm probably gonna go to bed after this as well.
And I got 26 meters a second, but that was only with one round going off, which is not fast enough. It's only 55 miles or 90 kilometers an hour. So I did it again, this time with a tab welded on the end to squish the rounds better. And I set off both rounds, but the chronograph wasn't on.
Good night.
And before I go any further, I need to know how fast I can kick a ball. So
I'm back. I was making myself
fastest
food.
kick ever is 210
Yeah. I was saving watching
which
this
is
video.
pretty impressive considering how pixelated this man is. And now me.
All right. Oh. Yeah.
Now I can kick a soccer ball at 28 meters a second, or 100 Ks,
I'm not good at
62
soccer
miles
at
an
all.
hour, which is annoying since I'm faster than the device so far.
I was like
even though
never
I'm
sure if I was
barefoot
kicking it
and didn't have a
correctly.
run up. So my plan now is to make a back plate that holds in the shells and stops the gas from escaping out the back and forces it all down the barrels, hopefully increasing the speed. And to do that, I started by making a slot in this piece of metal. And when I'm using a cutting bit like this to take material off the metal, there are two ways to do it. The more dangerous way,
Weirdly enough, I think I'm better at basketball than I am soccer. I played more of it. It was just a very easy sport to kind of play. All you need is like a hoop. You don't need like a giant amount of space. You just have a hoop in like your driveway, anywhere, in the middle of the street.
called climb cutting, where you push the material into the bit in the same way it's spinning, and the safer way is pushing the material into the bit in the opposite way it's going. However, I usually forget which way I'm going, so I found it's easier to
Out of
just
any
break
sport,
a
I could
bit
probably appreciate basketball the
to
most.
let me know I wasn't meant to be going that way. And I'm not sure why I look so stressed while using
least
the mill,
the
but it's
ball
probably
sports,
because I
you know?
expect things to snap off and hit me at any moment. Okay, slotted piece done. Now I just need to make a T-shaped firing pin to go in that. And I'm going to do that using a piece of tool steel, which is the hardest metal I or anyone in the world has in their garage. So hard that it removed all the teeth on my bandsaw without scratching the metal when I tried to cut it.
I had it in there for 20 seconds, and there are no more teeth left on my bandsaw.
And my milling machine didn't like it very much either. And eventually, after 3 hours of slow, horrible cutting where I was only taking 1/10 of a mil off at a time, while the machine was screaming in my ears telling me to stop, I eventually cut out this firing pin, which after cleaning up will go inside the slot.
Fuck me.
Oh.
Why is there a spider in there?
Okay, after another 3 hours.
I've had like so many spiders and bugs around the house. I found three separate wasps nests just like chilling, like in like random corners, like on the outside of my house. I don't know what to do with them. I could like hit them with the wasp spray, I guess, but like, are they gonna like fly out and like jump scare me? And also, there was like a huge. I learned there were banana spiders, so they're apparently not harmful. I think those are the non-harmful ones. Anyway, but yeah, they're like big. They make big webs. It's crazy. Like there was like nothing, and then the next day, I go look out the window, and there's like a huge, gigantic spider web. And it's like, how do you make this all in one night? Crazy. I'd love to see like a time lapse of that.
Of milling, I got this firing pin, which I tapped some holes into, and now it fits nicely together. Now I also want a way to hold the hammer in, and I'm going to use magnets. So I cut a slot in
I just hate how fast they can build their web, because like, I swear, like you just spend like 20 minutes doing whatever, then you walk through the same doorway, and it's like all of a sudden there's a spider web there, and it's like, what? How? And it's like gross and walking in the spider webs, because it's like it feels like weird, and you don't know if there's anything in it. And it's like, I hate spider webs. I've walked like face first into many a spider web. It's never great. It never gets any better.
Device, and then attempted to cut the magnet, which I wouldn't recommend doing in this way, as I snapped it, and now the milling machine is covered in a beautiful, really abrasive magnetic dust that sticks to everything.
Nope.
I'm seeing spider. I just can't. I keep getting reminded of Madam Web and like the voice acting, like the one guy who he goes like, "Give me the spider. You took my spider." Spiders eat bad bugs, though. Yeah, I guess so. That's why I didn't do anything to the webs personally. I only do something about it if it's like in the way, like if it's like in a doorway or something. If it's between me and something. The sound of flies and bees buzzing. Those are like a very different usually. The bees are super loud. Or like wasps, I guess. Either of them. I think these nests that are around, they're specifically wasp nests. I don't know what to do with them. I'm just gonna have to hit them with the raid and like run away. I don't know. I'm probably gonna get stung.
I have an idea. Okay, it's time for a test with this setup, and I'm hoping it's faster than the last, as the gas shouldn't be able to escape out the back, and also the hammer is held in, which should increase the pressure.
And one of them is like dangerously close to my back door. And it's like I open the back door and it's like right there, and it's like, oh, like technically like, they won't do anything if I don't like even if I'm right next to it, they won't do anything unless I'm like if I'm literally touching the nest itself. But it's like I don't even want to take the possibility, you know. And I just want to get rid of it. It's unsightly.
If you hear me screaming, going. Just that one, then come help me. Thank you. But if you do a normal scream. Yeah, normal scream, I'm fine. Just that one. Please work. 3.
The cup of gas over the wasps. I'm not afraid of accidentally eating one. I'm afraid of them inflicting pain onto me. Cup of gas. I don't... In these situations, they're all in corners. It's like, so I don't even think I would be able to put anything over them because like they're all in like super like hard to reach spots. I'm gonna have to hit them with a long range attack method.
2, 1. And that was awesome to watch on the slow-mo. You can see both rounds going off, and best of all, no gas escaped out the back.
Okay, so what's the
chronograph is
objective
reading
of this?
259 meters a second,
Oh, yeah,
or
to kick a
600
soccer
miles
ball
per hour, which seems way too fast. Maybe that was the speed of the gas escaping around the hammer, but I'm just going to say it's a success. 10 times faster than my foot. Now I need to make the boot for that foot, and I'm going to use this one. This is a very special soccer shoe to me. My mum bought it for me when I was 5 years old, and I played every season of soccer with them. At first I wasn't very good, but eventually, last year, I grew into my shoes, and now I'm alright. And I started by bending this piece until it fit around.
My mom would do that. She'd like buy me shoes that are like too big and be like, yeah, you'll grow into them.
On the shoe, and then welded it to
AKA the broom. No. The brooms, that's too risky. And leaves all of them alive as well. Automatic assault gun. I've seen those assault guns. I don't know though. I think I'm just gonna have to do the spray. It's like a thick spray. So like it like it'll like knock out the thing, but definitely some of them will definitely like fly out and try to kill me. So I have to be careful.
Plate. Then I welded this piece on top, and then welded on some spikes.
Is it raid? It's like wasp. It's like it's specifically for wasp nests.
And now if I stop now, I just have a great way to climb trees. Then I need to work out how I'm actually attaching the device to the shoe, which is why I decided to cut off these tabs that I spent so long making, and instead use this linear sliding rail, which will save me some space and weight. Then I attached a stopper at the end. So hopefully, when the front of this makes contact with the ball, it slides back, hitting the stopper at the end, which will push in the firing pin, setting off the blanks, which will shoot the hammer out of the end. But I don't know if this change will work, so I tested it out. 3, 2, 1.
I saw a TV ad for one of the assault guns ones, and it like came with a little laser sight. It was pretty cute.
Nice. Okay, now I can put it on the boot, so I permanently welded it on. But I still don't have any idea if just the impact of the soft soccer ball will be enough to actually set off the rounds. which is something I really should have planned for a little bit more. Same with my life, or that my online business was easy to run and more organized. But I can with the sponsor of today's video, Udo. In its penetration community is presented revenue client about internal forecast and done with Udo free since Udo's first
Nobody watching this is trying to run a business.
app is free for life.
They obliterate flies pretty well. I don't think we get enough flies to justify that. Like, I'm a fly swatter.
And
it works
I
pretty
tried for days to get this to work, making changes to the ball pressure, the placement of the ball. I even changed to a basketball. I glued a piece of metal to the ball. I even welded up a brand new frame to hold the ball better and swing the boot harder, but nothing worked.
I'm guessing they're trying to get the... He's trying to get the actual, like, pins to fire off, but the soccer ball's too soft. So it's, like, not, you know... It's not doing the whole bullet activation thing. Firing pin, whatever.
And after 30 or so missed hits, I finally got it working.
That was with the soccer ball. Yeah. Okay, it was a very, very simple solution, which is really good.
Well, I thought I did until I watched the slow-mo. And on that attempt, I had the carriage loose, and just the momentum of the swinging leg set the round off before it contacted the ball. So I tried some more with no success. And I think there are two problems. The impact on the ball on the front of the hammer is not transferring into the rounds, which is weird, because if there's a gap on the carriage, it's able to get a run up, and then it is enough. And also the firing pins are not very good. So I abandoned all my hard work making this T-slot firing pin, and just put some welds on the back, and then sharpen those into points, which will squish the rounds. But it still didn't work. But then I started thinking about that shot that did work when the carriage slammed back into the firing pins. And I thought there would be no difference if the ball hits the hammer with the carriage already resting on the firing pins compared to a loose carriage. But there obviously is. So I'm going to try something janky and put a toothpick in the rail here, which will keep the carriage away from the block, but then hopefully the impact of the ball will snap it, shooting the carriage back into the firing pins.
Oh my gosh. Look at it go, it's still swinging.
And that looked great, until I watched the slow-mo. Oh. And I got another premature ejaculation. But at least I managed to do a trick shot while having it.
Yo, that looked awesome.
So I upgraded the toothpick to a bamboo skewer and gave that a go.
That was promising, I think, maybe.
And I finally got it to work.
Oh, nice.
And the chronograph told me it was going at 28 meters a second or 110 kilometers per hour.
Damn.
The exact same reading my foot got. So it looks like it's time to put it on my foot and see if I can beat that. But before I do, I'm going to use someone else's leg.
Okay, so it's a combination that's going to...
So that way I can see if the recoil will just shatter my shin bone.
Oh.
And while I'm doing all this and mucking around with blanks, I'm obviously being safe, and I'm always
keeping it unloaded while putting the shoe on and
clamping the slippery bone into the vise. Which is why I don't have a hammer-shaped dent in my knee from when it didn't misfire when it slipped out of the vise and slammed into the floor.
Oh.
So after letting my hearing recover, I decided I am not going to test it on the cow leg bone, as it's way thicker than my leg, so it wouldn't even be an accurate safety test. But I am going to try one more thing to make it go even faster, which might just destroy it. At the moment, these pistons aren't airtight in the holes, but I can put wadding down there to make it move a lot faster. So I put these in, which should make an airtight seal.
That's just earplugs? That was kind of dangerous.
And that was a lot louder and blew the whole thing up.
Oh, the ball bearings came out.
And didn't even give me a faster speed. So I tried again. ball's completely deflated. And I popped the ball, and I also bent the square tube, which is really good to know, as my shin bone definitely wouldn't survive a blast like that. But at least the boot is working. Is it legal to use on a soccer field? No. Is it legal anywhere in the world?
Hey, Mark. Yeah. No, I just wanted a bit of legal advice, because I've essentially made a shoe with a gun on the bottom.
But
how would you even walk in this thing?
So now I still want to beat the fastest kick ever, but I'm also trying to beat the record for longest goal in soccer, which is 96 meters, which is why I put this goal 97 meters away. Also, I didn't bring batteries for the speed measurer, so we're mainly going for distance.
I think there is zero chance you're going to get it as that goal.
I think there is a zero chance.
So he's going to put his foot in the shoe.
Me?
Yeah.
Maybe
You?
perhaps.
Or just me?
Not on the full, I don't think I can do that.
Nice! Oh, yeah? I reckon I'm not going to get it anywhere near. He's going to fall into that hole right there.
Okay.
Is it just like longest goal in like a game?
Pretty good. So as long as it kicks further than that.
Then it's a super...
That ever
I'm
happened?
very good at kicking.
Yeah.
Or is it just longest goal in general?
Don't stand in front of it. What is wrong with you? Imagine selling this to some of the top soccer teams in the world. Imagine selling
I
to
guess
the
it is
Kerala
pretty
Blasters.
far, but I can't imagine.
It's a perfect name.
Because like those like punchers also like kick the ball really far, right?
Loaded. Probably should have put this
Like
in
someone should have been
before.
able to make that. Maybe.
You're putting the trigger in now while it's loaded.
Okay, triggers in.
Oh, okay, they're just putting it in the.
Okay,
you ready?
That's lame.
Yeah.
3,
It's probably
2,
a good idea to not put your foot in a death contraption, but.
Yeah.
That actually went pretty far.
Yeah, that worked really well. Almost as strong as me.
The first shot went alright. It went maybe a little bit further than my kick, but after looking at the shells, they broke at the back, so a lot of the gas escaped out the rear and not down the barrels. So I tried again with a lighter kick.
Need to not stand in front of this when I'm putting it in. Fire's out now.
I'm filming from...
3, 2, 1. It's not near as loud as it was at home.
In the garage.
And that kick was way worse. So I'm not going to get the distance I want. So I
I wonder
moved
if
the car
somebody's like
closer,
nearby
and
just
now I'm going to take some free
repeatedly
kicks
hearing
from
gunshots.
around 30 meters away. And for some reason, Alexa agreed to be in the goals.
Yeah, would have broken his shin bone. He's got a really strong guy. I don't know.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, that was. I would not want to get hit by that.
Great shot. On the great shot. That was perfect.
But I'm like, I don't want to be in front of it.
And that one worked really well. The ball traveled 30 meters in just over half a second, meaning the ball was traveling at like 45 meters a second, which is 160 k's or 100 miles per hour, which is 40 kilometers faster than David Beckham's foot when he drove his car into a pole. And it's also 3 kilometers faster than his fastest ever kick. Okay, my turn.
Okay, whenever you're ready.
Are you ready? 3, 2, 1.
What happened?
Yay!
Alexa, this is why I do videos.
Yeah.
And it's pretty inconsistent. I think it depends on if the rounds break at the back or not, and how good my wadding is. And we did a couple more shots, but it only got worse.
2, 1. Oh. Yay!
We gotta get we gotta get mate stuff here on this.
And you can pull the thing as well if you want. Okay.
He'll make one that is consistent. Or that you can wear on your foot, maybe. This is kind of like a funny
And
idea
overall,
of like
the
a
shoe did all right. It's probably
like if you wanted to find a practical use for this, like if you were just a goalie and you had no friends, but you still wanted to practice being a goalie, you could like set this thing up and like have it like on like a 60-second timer, and then just like go like activate it, like run to your goal, then like try to block the shot. I guess you couldn't do that unless you were like, there's no way you would be able to do that alone. Are there has to be like soccer, like how there are like baseball throwing machines. There has to be like soccer ball throwing machines, right?
slightly worse than my normal foot kicking a soccer ball.
That's much harder.
Also, if there are any cops watching this video, this whole thing was just a dream.
All right, nice foot, right in the frame there. All right, yeah, I should really get going to bed. That was fun though. I know I have a mug, but it's good that I actually wasn't drinking coffee. I really need to get going to bed. Nice chat. Yeah. I got to talk about a lot, I feel like. I didn't get sidetracked a lot. And if I did, it was like a good sidetrack and it wasn't long. It was like, I think my problem is like I often go from like tangent to tangent, and I don't like find ways to like string it all together. I just gotta get better at that, methinks. But I just remembered about my cable. I'm still mad about that. That's really annoying. Am I gonna have time to bring it back tomorrow? Oh yeah, I think so. It'll be a kind of annoying detour, but oh well. Not the end of the world. Okay. Thank you for watching, everyone. Yep. I've been Alois. I'm retiring my outfit now. Oh, you didn't see that. Wait, I have to like put my body back together. Hold on. Wonder if I can do this without you seeing it. Your cable? Yeah, I just bought a microphone cable. I had it like plugged in earlier, and it was like producing this awful, like glitchy, like electronic, like whining noise. And I think it's because it's unshielded. Like it was just picking up a bunch of interference. Yeah, it was not cool. because I paid like a lot of money for that. It was bad. There we go. Okay, thank you for watching, everybody. I'm going to bed. Good night. Good night. I'll see you next time. I don't know when. Maybe tomorrow, if I do stream, it'll be... I don't know if it would be a game if I do stream tomorrow. I think, like, I can safely say Friday I can do. I don't know about the rest of the week, though. I'll try, but, like, yeah. I'll just wait until Friday, basically. Okay, bye-bye.